What looks like avoidance is often awareness. Sigma males don't skip social gatherings because they can't handle them. They skip them because they've learned what most gatherings actually offer and what they don't. Once you see that clearly, your choices change. Let's break it down. 1. They find most interactions surface level. Sigma males aren't bad at conversations, they just don't enjoy shallow ones. At most social gatherings, conversations stay on the surface. People talk to fill silence, not to exchange ideas. There's a lot of speaking, but very little understanding. Sigma males notice this immediately. They hear repetition. The same questions. The same safe answers. The same attempts to sound interesting. But very little authenticity. And for someone who values depth, this feels empty. They don't want to talk just to pass time. They want conversations that reveal something real, thoughts, perspectives, experiences that actually mean something. But those are rare in large social settings. So instead of forcing themselves to engage in conversations that don't stimulate them, they disengage. It's not disinterest in people. It's disinterest in superficial interaction. 2. They observe more than they engage. While most people go to gatherings to be seen, Sigma males go to understand. They naturally step back and observe. They watch how people behave, how personalities shift depending on the group, how people present different versions of themselves depending on who they're talking to. And once you start noticing these patterns, it's hard to ignore them. They see forced laughter. They see subtle competition for attention. They see people trying to fit in rather than be themselves. This creates a disconnect. Because Sigma males aren't fully immersed, they're analyzing. And when you're analyzing instead of participating, the experience feels different. Less exciting. More revealing. Over time, they realize they gain more from observing than engaging in these environments. So they stop putting themselves in them. 3. They protect their energy. Sigma males treat their energy like a limited resource. They don't spend it everywhere. Social gatherings require constant interaction, talking, responding, reacting, adapting. For many people, this feels energizing. For Sigma males, it often feels draining. Because most of that energy doesn't lead anywhere meaningful. It doesn't build anything. It doesn't improve anything. It doesn't move them forward. So they start asking a simple question. Is this worth my energy? And most of the time, the answer is no. They'd rather invest that same energy into something that creates value, learning, working, building, or even just thinking clearly in silence. They're not avoiding people. They're choosing where their energy actually matters. 4. They don't seek attention or validation. Social gatherings often revolve around attention. Who's noticed? Who stands out? Who's being admired? A lot of behavior in these environments is driven by the need to be seen and validated. Sigma males don't operate like that. They don't need approval to feel confident. They don't measure their worth based on reactions from others. So when you remove the need for attention, gatherings lose their appeal. They're not interested in performing socially. They're not trying to impress anyone. They're focused on themselves, not how they're perceived. And that shift makes a big difference. Because once you stop seeking validation, you stop putting yourself in places designed around it. 5. They prefer depth over noise. Sigma males are naturally drawn to depth. Deep thinking. Deep conversations. Deep focus. Social gatherings are usually the opposite. They're loud, fast, and filled with constant stimulation. Multiple conversations, music, movement, it creates an environment where attention is constantly being pulled in different directions. For many, this is exciting. For Sigma males, it's distracting. They don't enjoy splitting their focus across multiple things. They prefer being fully present in one meaningful interaction. But in noisy environments, that's difficult. Everything feels rushed. Nothing feels complete. And because they value quality over quantity, they lose interest. One real conversation in silence is worth more to them than 10 conversations in noise. 6. They see through social masks. At gatherings, many people present a version of themselves, not their real self. They act more confident than they feel. They exaggerate stories. They adjust their personality depending on who they're with. Sigma males notice this. They can tell when someone is being genuine and when someone is performing. And once you see that consistently, it becomes hard to ignore. Because they value authenticity. They respect real behavior, not curated impressions. So when they're surrounded by people constantly shifting their identity to fit in, it creates a disconnect. They don't feel like they're interacting with real people. They feel like they're interacting with versions. And that's not interesting to them. 7. They focus on long-term value. Sigma males think differently about time. They don't just look at what feels good in the moment, they look at what adds value over time. Social gatherings offer short-term enjoyment. But Sigma males evaluate it differently. What does this actually give me? If the answer is temporary, they lose interest. They're focused on growth. Building skills. Improving discipline. Creating something meaningful. And those things require time and consistency. So they become selective. They don't say yes to everything. They choose carefully. And often, that means skipping environments that don't align with their long-term goals. 8. They are comfortable being alone. The biggest reason Sigma males avoid social gatherings is simple. They don't need them. They're comfortable alone. Not bored. Not lonely. Just at peace. They don't rely on constant social interaction to feel fulfilled. They can sit in silence, think clearly, and enjoy their own company. And once you reach that point, your priorities change. You stop going out just to avoid being alone. You start choosing experiences intentionally. Sigma males don't avoid gatherings because they're missing out. They avoid them because they already feel complete without them. 9. They dislike forced social structure. Sigma males are highly independent, and social gatherings often come with unspoken rules they don't enjoy following. You're expected to behave a certain way. Say the right things. Laugh at the right moments. Match the energy of the group, even if it's not natural to you. For most people, this is normal. For Sigma males, it feels forced. They don't like adjusting their personality just to fit into a social setting. They prefer being the same person everywhere, consistent, real, and unfiltered. But in large gatherings, there's often pressure to conform. To be more outgoing. More expressive. More socially active. And Sigma males resist that. They don't see the value in pretending to be more extroverted than they are just to blend in. If they can't be themselves fully, they'd rather not be there at all. Because authenticity matters more to them than acceptance. And environments that require performance instead of presence naturally push them away. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel. Your support means a lot.